pause it and I would
Yep.
pause it and then I would write down what she said and I'll go back and rewind it. And then basically I on like the whole section, I just went ahead and watched all the recordings and then I took the notes. And then when I got to class, it was pretty much like review. And so
Okay.
for me studying, I just looked over my notes every single day. And when I could, I just rewatched the recordings. And so now it's just like basically review. Like so I got these little flashcards. And I
Right.
look back on my study hands a little bit, but mostly I just do the flashcards since it's just like review. And so that's like it's a lot easier for me to do. But for everybody, it's different. Like last semester when I was in her class, last semester when I was in her class, I basically gave myself like a pre-test to the test. So I just took a test before I took the actual test, and it helped a lot. Like I used to make like 100s on her tests and quizzes, so
All
it
Mm-hmm.
right.
helps.
Okay. Yeah, what I do with the study hands on mine is I just turn everything, like if it says like know what the function of the endocrine system is, I turn it into a question.
Mhm.
Like, what is the
Oh
function of
yeah,
the endocrine system? Or how does the hypothalamus control the pituitary gland? That makes sense?
yes, I love doing that. That's what I do too, and I go in full detail.
Yes, yes. And I just keep doing that. And once I go through everything, I'll just go through the study Hansen class, and I'll just add in like different side notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then with the like definitions, I'll write the definition on flashcards and just do that. And then just have my husband just go with it through me every day. The same thing with the study ends. Like with the questions, he'll just run off these questions and I have to answer them like that. So
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry if y'all hear my background. My
you're fine.
baby, he's watching TV.
You good. So what do y'all seem like y'all got it down pat with this endocrine system? Or what some things you may probably have second guesses about as far as
I guess for me, it would just have to be like it's these hormones. Like I get most of them,
uh,
but for example, like your toxic goiter and your edemic goiter, those two I get kind of confused on
Yeah,
because
me
it goes
too.
into like hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism when
Yeah,
really
I
both
had
of
shouted
them.
out the wrong answer in class and everything.
Yeah,
um,
because like you're getting both like different like both what do you call it, like definitions of it,
Yeah,
but really it's all the same thing. You know what I mean?
right.
yeah.
That's where I'm confused on. So if y'all can kind of elaborate on that, that would help me out a lot. Did y'all know?
Um, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Um, what when we gonna talk about you talking about like the endemic goiter and the toxic goiter,
Yeah,
Graves'
yeah,
disease.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm back. So like endemic goiter, that's just basically it's a dietary iodine deficiency. So it's
Right,
basically they don't have enough salt. So that's how you can think about it. Like endemic water, not enough salt. Just like
okay,
two simple words, not enough salt. And then toxic water, I always just say hyperactive thyroid because that's pretty much what it is, or overactive thyroid.
right.
Just probably like simple two word sentences will probably help better than trying to memorize the whole entire definition.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So would So would toxic goiter be also known as hyperthyroidism because you have hypersecretion? And anemic goiter is like hypo, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Because
yeah, that's another good way.
because I know that she wants us to know it as like toxic goiter and anemic goiter, but I guess for
Hmm.
me it's better to know it as hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism because um you never really hear people call it as toxic goiter and demon goiter. You just hear it as
Right.
whether it's hypo. So I don't know. I mean, it really depends on like where you are, I guess. So
That's true. Cause she said, she told us last, because I took her anatomy one in the summer. She told us last summer, well, this past summer, that we had, because in nursing school, I guess like outside of nursing school, like in the hospitals, they probably don't use it. But like in nursing school, she said that they use like all the correct terms.
right,
So I
right,
guess that'll be probably like the only place we'll actually hear toxic water and endemic water.
right. Because y'all don't know, I used to be a EMT. So
Oh,
I did about like a year and a half for it before I resigned because there's just too much trauma, I guess, for me. But
wow.
anyways, yeah, like hearing these terms, I never really heard toxic goiter and demon goiter in the hospital setting. You just hear it
Hmm.
as hyper and hypo. But but yeah, for nurse school, it would help if you know like why it's called hyper and hypo. But that's one way to put it. So
Yeah. Okay, then I got it.
I, I myself, I've been having trouble with like keeping up with the well, also with the what is it called? The complications, like the hormones. I don't know. It's a lot to remember.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
not
It
gonna lie,
is.
it's so much. And it's just like I hope that I know everything I'm trying, but
right. What are you
mm,
having trouble with again?
With me, it's just getting, yeah, like you said, getting the hormones down pat. Um, Not second guessing, because now I know that pineal
yeah.
gland is in charge of melatonin.
Oh
The
yeah.
that's the I just had it in lab. We just had it in lab the other day. There was a question straight just about melatonin. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Oops.
See.
Was asking about the location, know the
It's
major.
the pineal gland. Because think about melatonin when you sleep. It's your pineal gland because your pineal gland also regulates your sleep cycle. So melatonin and sleep cycles go together. That makes sense.
Yes.
So if you have a question about where your melatonin comes from, think about what regulates your sleep cycle, your pineal gland.
Oh, okay. I got you now. And she okay. So I'm looking at diabetes insipidus, and I'm looking at diabetes mellitus. Is those
Mm-hmm.
two different things?
What? No, diabetes mellitus is basically like your type 1, type 2. Diabetes insipidus is just a rare, I guess, subtype of diabetes where you have like a high volume of
Mm.
urine. Um,
So
but
diabetes insipidus is kind of like opposite of ADH. antidiuretic hormones, which is water reabsorption.
Right,
Okay, I got it.
right. So I know diabetes can be a very confusing subject, but really the only thing you have to know is like um what the three symptoms are, which is polyuria, high volume, where you get the diabetes insipidus from, and then
Mm-hmm.
you get polyphagia, which is extreme hunger, and then you got polydipsia, which is extreme thirst.
Okay. Okay, I got
So if
hypoglycemia.
you
Oh
if
wait, so
you have
you're
trouble,
saying that
you what?
I said so you're saying that diabetes insipidus, that's like it goes along with like polyphagia, polyuria, and
Hmm.
dipsia? Oh, that makes sense. That's a
Yep.
better way to look at it.
You talk about the three symptoms of diabetes.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is polyphagia. PF is doesn't sound like food. So polyphagia is extreme hunger. Polydipsia is extreme thirst. I see the word dip, like you're taking a dip into the lake. Dip.
Okay.
And polyuria is, of course, the extreme, like high volume of urine. So
Mm,
urea, urine. So that's one way to look at it. It's all like how you break it down, I guess.
Yeah. That makes sense.
polyuria is a large volume of urine in the system.
Yes.
Urinary system. Okay. And she said everything is gonna be multiple choice, right? There's not gonna be no essay writing or nothing like that. 'Cause that's what be
Right.
is all I'm darn.
Just yeah, just multiple choice.
Okay. The only thing I'm probably gonna be kind of weary would be those darn true and false questions. That's what
Yeah.
used to get me is them true and false.
It's probably gonna be easy though, because like last time she used to make such big like we had to take a lab and it was like on the muscles and it was like the most easiest thing ever. So every time she makes a big deal out of something, it literally is so easy.
Be
Okay.
in it be easy. Yeah, I kind of noticed that too.
Yes. Like you cannot stress because why I tell you stressing just makes it worse. And her tests are never hard. Never hard.
Mm.
The that quiz that you gave us last week, no, the other
Mm-hmm.
week ago, whatever it was,
I
I
don't
came
take
out of
it.
that test feeling so confident. But it really hurt me knowing I got like a 71 on that quiz. I'm like, what the hell?
So
Hmm.
how was it? How was it worded? Because I wasn't there. Like, what was like the question that she had said?
I'm trying to remember.
I know one question was what two hormones was secreted by the hypothalamus? And I thought it was inhibiting uh inhibiting hormone and releasing hormone, but it's ADH and OT. So that's where I know I messed that one up. But
Oh,
other than that, I don't know what other questions I missed because I forgot to ask if I could go over the quiz with her. But
I would miss that too. Because what that? Because that's literally what she put. That's what she put in her slide. The
Mm-hmm.
hormones that secrete from the hypothalamus is the releasing hormones and inhibiting hormones because it pretty much all goes through the pituitary gland.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Y'all think she's gonna ask you like what hormones come from like the posterior or the interior pituitary gland, or do you think she's gonna be very broad?
I think she gonna. I don't know. She may be specific to
Yeah.
what she say.
Because I mean,
What
she breaks
what
everything.
hormones secrete from the heart type stuff.
Yeah, I believe that's why she gonna be. Like, like what is this? Because I think she said she gonna give everybody different organs and glands, and you had to figure out what it is from the second page I was talking about in group me. When I showed y'all the
Oh,
picture of that second study hint, that's why I was trying to say, did she want that too, or do we just kind of just study it anyways? Which I've been studying anyway, so to be sure which one she would give me or y'all,
yeah, yeah. She said, so pretty much it's just going. We had to study both. Like we had to study like to get the questions for the second page. We had to study the hint. I mean the table like thoroughly.
yes. 'Cause I had them on the flashcard from the previous time I took 202. That's when I had what's her name, Dr. Wilson.
Oh,
Dr. Wilson was something else.
really?
I thought she was
I'm
gonna
glad
be
I didn't
cool.
take that. Me too. That's I almost took her, but then she was teaching a mini term, and I was like, I do not want to take a mini term, so I just
See that
came
was
back.
my fault doing many times.
Oh, that's what you. Oh yeah, yeah. I would never do no mini term.
I don't
That's
even understand why they offer A and P mini term. I would say just keep
mm-mm.
A and P full term.
Right, because I did it in the summer, and that was pretty much a mini term, and it was awful. Test every single week, quiz every single week. It was horrible.
Yes.
I honestly don't even remember half the stuff I studied for. I was just studying. We had to study for like so many tests and quizzes at once. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, with my history class I'm taking online, this lady's going over a different chapter every single week. So like,
Mm-mm.
you have to read a chapter, do the discussion board on Wednesday, and then do like one major project that week that's due on Sunday. And plus,
What's
I got like my English. Again, she's going over a single chapter every single week. In English, I have an essay due, discussion boards due, and on top of all this, I got anatomy study, and it's just a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, that is a lot. What's
But
your major?
it's all about, managing your time wisely,
Yeah.
studying whatever you can, and just do your best. That's all you can do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Are you nursing or you a biology major?
I'm a nursing major.
Nursing, okay.
What about
Why
y'all?
have I heard so many people who are nursing majors take history? I haven't took history. I don't know if the counselor didn't tell me if I had to or whatever.
I
Advisor.
I've taken history before, but
Oh,
when I first initially came to Lawson, I was a biology major. Like I said, this was
oh.
before my son. This is when I was just a single young student, and because I really wanted to be a doctor, because I was gonna do biology there and do pre-med. I wanted to go away to school, but like I said, so much was
Yeah.
going on in between that time, having a kid, then taking care of relatives. I was in and out of Lawson for 20 years.
Okay.
I
20.
did take a break
Wow.
from Lawson. Yes, I did take a break from Lawson and went to Virginia College, which that was a big mistake. And I'm fighting, these loans here because I'm trying to apply for borrower's defense, where, I think they had it where Washington had it. Well, if you went to those type of schools, they would discharge your loans because they went on broken promises, failed promises, and stuff like that. So,
Wow.
Okay.
Now I do have a question for y'all. So what did y'all put for I forgot what question it was because I'm just looking at my flashcards. Um for the pathology of diabetes like 1 and 2. Because I looked at her slide and then I looked online and like her slide confused me because I didn't understand what it was saying, like the pathology of it was. And so I looked on Google and I was like, what is the pathology of diabetes? And it gave me its version of what the pathology of diabetes is, which is pretty much like the definition. But like, what did y'all put?
I haven't
Well,
even got to that
for
question yet, but I'm on that question now. So I'm trying to pick y'all brains to see what y'all may have got.
well, I know with the pathology of diabetes a
Mm-hmm.
lot, but if you think about it, if you put it in like steps, basically. The first thing with diabetes is that you have hold on, let me try to find it. Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
The urea, the precipitous, I got a lot of flashcards here, y'all. So give me 1 minute.
Oh, take
It's
your time.
good. It's good. I'm looking through mine too.
There we go. All right. So I have
Mm-hmm.
it says cells cannot absorb glucose, means that you just have if your cells cannot absorb the glucose, they have to rely on your fats and your proteins for energy levels. And if it starts breaking up your fats and your proteins, it's gonna start floating everywhere, right? In your body, right? It's
Yeah.
it's gonna have you have free fatty acids in your blood, which also cause your ketone to get released into your blood. Which this would, if you have ketones in your blood, the more ketones you have, causes ketoacidosis, which is basically meaning your ketones is making your blood more acidic. And the more acidic your body is, the more your body starts to build up the acids, which makes the ketoacidosis. And ketoacidosis causes ketouria, which means that there's ketones in your urine. So with ketouria, it has osmotic diuresis. If you think about antidiuretic, right? Your antidiuretics basically just re causes reabsorption of water in your kidneys. So the opposite of that is osmotic diuresis, which means that your body is just flushing out all that water, which is trying to flush out all the ketones. So when you do that, that's where you get the ketoacidosis. That's where you that's where your ketones starts leaking out of your cells and into your bloodstream. That's where you get that ketoacidosis. I know, which then leads to diabetic coma because your body starts to shut down as it starts to build that acid in your blood. And your body's trying to pee it out, because that's what it does when you have ketones in the urine. It's just trying to um try to flush out the ketones and your proteins, and eventually you die because it gets so much that your body just starts shutting down one by one. Does that make sense, or do I need to go over a little more?
That seemed to make Makes sense to me.
Uh,
About
I
that.
think I remember her saying something about all that. I I don't know because it's the test is tomorrow, and I should have asked that question sooner because I didn't put none of that on my little card. Because I wrote, I looked on Google and I was like, ah, that makes sense, I guess. Um, it was like the pathology for diabetes is like the body either produces inadequate amounts of insulin to meet the demands of the body, or insulin resistance has developed. That's for type 2. And then type 1, the pathology, it says that the pathology of diabetes 1, I'm trying to remember, I'm just gonna read it off the card because I was trying to remember off the top of my head. It results from the destruction of insulin producing cells in the pancreas called beta cells. So pretty much the beta cells are the beta cells are being destroyed, and then like the T cells attack. I forgot what she said. I think the T cells attack the beta cells or something like that. But that's what I said, and I don't know. Now I hope that question is really not on there because sometimes some questions will be on there. But I'm trying to go to the PowerPoint. That's why, so I can because I was gonna get you to elaborate, but I needed to see it. It's not. I'm using my phone, so it's not really like cooperating.
Hmm.
Hey, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back, okay?
For sure.
Okay.
Uh,
So he just pretty much wrote the whole slide down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
pretty much
know.
what I mean, 'cause I done that too. And then I tried to put in a little bit of what she said in recording. And then also what I did and got some answers, I just Googled it. Did some Googling, went to some
Yeah.
old Quizlets for people in the past that took this class and just wrote a few things from there. Like the location of the hypothalamus was number 2. Know how the hypothalamus control the pituitary gland. And I put the hypothalamus sends releasing hormones and inhibiting hormones. Hormones
Yeah.
stimulate and suppress anterior pituitary secretions, produces antidiuretic hormones, and oxytocin stored in the posterior pituitary, send nerves impulses. That's all I put. But I know she got 2 and 6 is the same question. I
Yeah.
noticed that too, so I just put the same answer on that, pretty much. Ugh.
There is just no way possible. I don't think she wants us to remember this whole slide. 'Cause that catabolism increases free fatty acids and ketones in blood, and then uh,
I know in the reports there was some slides that she said that we didn't necessarily have to know. Like
yeah,
the
because in
one,
the recordings she didn't really go over the pathology. She just skimmed through it.
she
That's
pretty
why I
much.
was just like, yeah,
Now I remember in class she was focusing more on with the diabetes about the
yeah,
percentage. Um, like if she asks us which one has 90 to 80%, okay, that's type 2. Okay, type 1, 5 to 10% of cases in the US. She was really emphasizing on that, so that's why I've really been studying. And then I know with type 1 is insulin dependent, given because some form of we have diabetes in our family of folks that had diabetes. And what struck out with me that I'm familiar with is about let's see, uh about the loss of vision, possible loss of visions. And I had a patient at one point, she lost her vision due to diabetes, and my paternal grandfather lost his vision due to diabetes.
Yeah, my grandmother, she's like going through the process of like she hasn't completely lost her vision, but it's getting to that point. Like her eyes she has cataracts in her eyes, so they're very cloudy. She could see sometimes, and then sometimes she can't really see.
Can't see. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be like
and
that.
yeah, and she had to get like a kidney transplant,
Mm.
and what else happened? She had a stroke. She
Okay.
just had it pretty tough after she was diagnosed. But if she would have caught like in the slide, I don't know if you had left by that time, but in the slide it said that it can be stopped. So by like if you catch it early enough, you'll be able to suppress it by exercise and diet.
Yes,
So
exactly.
pretty much just yeah, because I feel like it happens when diabetes happens because you have diabetes too, I'll say, happens when you have like two like obviously because it can't get to the tissue, and I feel like it's probably like I'll say a layer of fat around the set around the tissues. That could be incorrect, but in my assumption, that's just what I assume as to why the insulin just all of a sudden stops trying to go into the tissues. Because
Okay.
does she even elaborate, or does the recordings even say anything on why insulin does it just, or why insulin like doesn't go into the tissues? It just says hold on, I'm just jumping ahead. I'm sorry, my brain. I swear I be thinking 100. I be going 100 miles per hour.
Mm. I feel
I'm
same.
sorry. So I was thinking far ahead, but my question was, does it say more than it just doesn't take the insulin?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I see on the slide wise.
Hmm.
Like two
Yeah.
Well, I should Google it. I'm afraid to Google it, but I'm also afraid to ask questions in class. She used to cut us up when we used to ask questions in class.
Mm. Yeah, that's why I used to be afraid to ask anything. 'Cause she didn't have like a smart mouth about it.
Ooh, yeah,
But
real smart mouth.
I'd be afraid to be taking her again, and then she go off and everything, and I'd be that close,
Uh,
Slim. Don't go off, Slim. Don't go off. Already dealing with.
I'm so used to it.
Yeah, me too. It's like,
I'm so used like that's how my family talks. So it's just like when everybody else is like, I was just like, this literally does not affect me at all.
mm-mm.
Anything she say, that little attitude. Like she had an attitude when she had that little smart remark talking about something. Well, you're gonna have to study when I had raised my hand and she was like, who thinks they're gonna make an A in here? And I raised my hand, I said I was gonna make it 100. She was like, well, you're gonna have to study. It's really because I got what is it called? I burnt myself out towards the end. I was going so hard.
Mm,
And plus I was dealing with some family issues. I just shut down. I still passed with a good grade, but that final exam I shut down like literally towards the end. But
mm,
them little smart remarks. Whew.
yeah. She was talking about where you do you listen? You just listen to it. You don't write notes. I said, how can I write notes? Because you going like a mile a minute. Like slow down. I started to tell her that. But
Yeah, and then she like 1 minute she talks quiet, 1 minute she loud. Girl.
yeah, I remember that about it too.
In our last class in the summer, we had took her at 8 a.m. And I'm saying we because most of us in here was in her
Hmm.
summer. And we had took her 8 a.m. and she was always loud with a big personality, and now she's just like real reserved.